Hey guys, I'm Jay with ECS Tuning, and today we're going to be installing our ECS coilover system on this Mark 5 Rabbit. This is an adjustable coilover system, and we offer both adjustable and fixed systems for the Mark 4 through Mark 8, so you can pick any kit that's best for your platform. So this kit comes with your coilovers for the front and rear, adjustable sway bar end links, your top strut mounts for the front and rear, and a big bag of nuts and bolts. Now, I have not done this particular job before, but we're going to follow along with our PDF, which will be linked down in the description, and we'll figure it out together. So let's get started. Alright, so you're going to need an assortment of tools for this. We always recommend spraying down all the nuts and bolts with your penetrating oil just to make them a little bit easier to work with. And for speed and ease, we like to use our Milwaukee high torque impact gun just to get things off a little bit faster. This is available on our website, so you can check out the link below. You're going to need an assortment of wrenches, a few different ratchets, some different size sockets. We'll specify the sizes as we go through the job. You're going to need probably a breaker bar, torque wrench. Definitely going to need a hammer depending on how tightly your spindle assembly is stuck to the strut. Pry bar could come in use with that too. You'll need a few specialty tools for this job. You'll need some triple squares like an M6 and M14. We like using our Schwabin strut socket so you can get the Allen key in there and really tighten it down. And our Schwabin spindle spreader is also a great useful tool for this job. All right, before you get started, you want to measure your original ride height from the center of the wheel hub assembly to the top of the fender. And for ours, both of our fronts measured out at 18.5 inches, and both of the rears measured out at 18 inches. All right, so we got all of our measurements from the wheel hub assembly to the fender. Now we're going to remove our axle bolt. And we did that with just a 24mm 12-point socket. All right, next we're going to remove our sway bar end links. If you remember from one of our previous videos, we had put these Mila sway bar end links on. With these Mila end links, it's best to have some vice grips to keep it from spinning. There is our beautiful Mila sway bar end link. These are great. Unfortunately, we're going to be replacing these with the adjustable sway bar end links that come in our kit. Next, you're going to want to remove the bracket that holds your ABS sensor in place as well as your brake lines. And that's done with a little 10mm. And make sure you don't drop this because it can drop and fall into your rotor, and you don't want to have to tear all that apart if you don't have to. Now we're going to remove the nuts holding on our lower control arm. And that's off. Now the lower control arm's off, we're going to remove our axle. And it's good to get it up and out of the way, and then you reattach your lower control arm. There we go. For our next step, we're going to want to remove our spindle housing from the strut itself. You're going to want the vehicle lower to the ground for this. You're probably working on jack stands, but we're on a lift, so we brought it down lower. If you're on jack stands, you're already going to be low enough. The reason being, you're going to want to use a floor jack to hold and catch the weight of this spindle housing as you lower it from the strut. And a great tool to help with this once you remove your pinch bolt is our Schwabin spindle housing spreader tool, which will spread that spindle housing enough that you can remove it pretty easily. All right, now we're going to remove our spindle housing pinch bolt. Spindle housing pinch bolt. Now we'll use our spindle housing spreader tool from Volkswagen and spread the spindle housing so that we have some clearance to remove the spindle housing from the strut. Now our spindle housing spread, and we'll start lowering it off the strut. And depending on corrosion, you might need to use a ball peen hammer or a mallet and hit this off of there. Make sure you do not hit any of your sensor or brake lines. Lower my jack a little bit. There we go. Our floor jack caught the weight of our spindle housing and our strut is free. Now to finally remove the rest of the strut, you're going to want to access the 3 bolts that are attached to the strut mount. You'll do that by removing a bit of this weather stripping and pulling back your cowl a little bit. You want to be really careful with this not to break your cowl because it is just plastic, and if you break that, you're going to have a bad day. But these 3 bolts are just 13 millimeter, and we'll remove them. And our assembly should just fall out.
5 minutes later.
And there is our OEM strut and shock. All right, before we put the coilover in the vehicle, we needed to assemble the top strut mount to the coilover. Now, it's best to put it in a bench vise and use some sort of a cloth or microfiber towel to prevent damage to the finish. But it's pretty simple. You just get your spring lowered as far as you can, remove the nut, place the top strut mount on the coilover, and get the nut tightened down. And we're going to be using our Volkswagen strut nut socket for this, as well as an Allen head. And this tool is really nice because it allows you to tighten down the bolt while still having access for your Allen key. Now that we have our top strut mount assembled, we're going to set our spring preload. The PDF recommends 10 millimeters of preload. So what we're going to do is just get our spring perch snug and give it 1 full rotation. And now we'll set our locking collar. All right, now our preload is set. Now we're going to install our new coilover. It's very important to note the 2 arrows on top of the strut mount because you want these to be facing the front and rear of the vehicle. All right. Make sure I got that okay. Now those are threaded. We're gonna leave those loose for now, just so we have a little more play to get the strut seated into the spindle assembly, and then we'll tighten those down once we're done. All right, now we're gonna reattach our spindle assembly to our strut. It's really important when you do this to note the 2 little protrusions on the back of the coilover, so that you want to line those up with the slit in the back of the spindle assembly. It's really good to have an extra set of hands with this because one person can sort of maneuver the spindle into place and the other person can lift the jack, giving you a little extra support. So get your wife, your husband, your kids, your girlfriend, anybody that you want to traumatize the way that you were traumatized as a child when your dad was yelling at you in the garage. So let's get it going. It should start sliding into place.
Keep going.
Yep. A little more. And we're seated.
Sweet.
Now we will reattach our pinch bolt. To install our new pinch bolt, I'm going to use our impact gun, but I'm not going to tighten it down all the way. Once we get it sort of in place, then we'll use our torque wrench and torque it down to spec. There's 70 Newton meters. All right, now that our coilover is back in the spindle housing, we are going to tighten down the mount bolts, and those want to be tightened down to 15 Newton meters plus a 90-degree turn. Now to start reassembly, we're just going to remove the lower control arm again, reseat the axle, and reconnect our ABS sensor and brake lines. When you torque down the nuts for the lower control arm, you want to reference your vehicle and the type of lower control arm you have and torque them down to the specifications necessary. All right, now all I also have to do here is to install our sway bar end links. All right, now we have our sway bar end links in place. We're going to tighten those down to 65 Newton meters. I want to note that when you go to do your final ride height adjustment, that's a good time to fine tune your sway bar end links, and because you want the vehicle to be under full load. We're going to have a link to the PDF down in the description that has a lot of great information, and if you want to see more videos on how to do that per se, then let us know in the comments. And just make sure you tighten your lock nuts. Now for our axle bolts, and to torque those down, we're just going to go through the little hole in your wheel so we can access those and get them down to torque. All right, if you didn't have enough fun on the front side, we're on the rear now. We've got our lower control arm supported with a floor jack because that spring's got a lot of load on it. And we've already gone ahead and loosened our bolt. And we just got to get that out. Now we've got that out, what you want to do is slowly lower the lower control arm till it's free. Now we have our lower control arm loose, we can remove our spring. And it's really important that you save your isolator for later, for the new set of springs. And now we're going to remove the sway bar end links from the rear. This is going to use an M6. It's really important that you put penetrating oil on this ahead of time and get it kind of working so that it doesn't snap off. If this snaps off, you're going to have a bad day. All right, we did our top. We just got our bottom loose. And it'll slide out like that. Next, we're going to remove the nut holding the strut to the spindle assembly. Now our strut is loose. All we have to do is remove the two bolts at the top. All right, it does in the PDF say to remove the fender liner, but with this vehicle, we don't really need to do that to access these bolts. So we're just gonna loosen them up. There's one. And it might be a good idea to have a hand on this so it doesn't drop. And it's out. All right, so now we're gonna assemble our top strut mount to the rear coilover. All right, that's tight. And now that that's tight, we are just going to torque it down to 25 Newton meters. There we go. All right, now we're gonna install our new strut. We've already put our dust cap on it. I'm just gonna put this up here, get these bolts threaded to hold it into place, and then we will tighten them down and torque them to spec. All right, now we're gonna tighten these down to 50 Newton meters plus 45 degrees. All right, now we're gonna attach the lower portion of the strut back to the spindle assembly. All right, now that we have our rear strut in place, we're gonna go ahead and put in our shock. We've taken the isolator from the previous one and got it in place. And you're gonna want to sort of estimate your ride height with this, and you can make final adjustments later. But essentially, we're gonna put it in place and use our floor jack to raise the lower control arm back into place. Now we have this aligned, we'll install new hardware. You may need to adjust your alignment a little bit. Just get it to go all the way through. And get your nut threaded, and then torque that down to spec. All right, before you torque down that bolt for the lower control arm, you're gonna wanna adjust your strut so that the isolator and this spring are seated properly. And that seems to be seated pretty well, so we can go ahead and torque that down. Now we're gonna torque this down to 90 Newton meters plus 90 degrees. Now to torque down the bolt holding your strut to your spindle assembly, you wanna torque that down to 180 Newton meters. All right, the last part for assembly is just installing your sway bar end links. And these adjust just like the ones up front. All right, these are in place. We'll tighten those bolts down, and the final torque spec on that is 45 Newton meters. All right, so that does it for the front and rear driver's side. We're gonna tackle the passenger side on camera, then we're gonna show you how to do all your final torques and adjustments. All right, now that we got load on the vehicle, we're going to tighten down our axle bolt, and that gets tightened down to 200 Newton meters plus 180 degree turn. All right, so like I said in the beginning, we can't torque down our strut mount nut until we have the vehicle on the ground and on the wheels. Now that it's on there, we're going to torque that down to 60 Newton meters. And again, we're going to use our Schwaben strut socket. There it is. All right, so that about does it for the ECS coilover system for this Mark V Rabbit. It wasn't too difficult. We followed along with the PDF and were able to figure it out just fine. You can find a link to that PDF and this product down in the description, as well as links for any of the specialty tools we used. So the owner of this vehicle is going to take it over the weekend and let the suspension settle, as well as get an alignment. Once we get it back, we'll do the final adjustments on the coilovers. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and come back for more enthusiast content.